Hari Om and welcome to today's Purna Yoga Contemplation. So today we'll continue from Shloka 5.15. So Shloka 1.15, Sri Krishna says, the omnipresent God, Ishvara, doesn't involve himself in the sinful or virtuous deeds of anyone. The living entities are deluded because their inner knowledge is covered by ignorance. So the living entities, the jivatmas, are deluded. There's a Brahma. Delusion is Brahma, because their inner knowledge is covered by ignorance. That is what Sri Krishna is saying. Now, based on that, the main questions that have been framed are about ignorance. There are quite a few questions about ignorance. What is ignorance? Is it affected by gunas? Is there a measure for it? If so, how can we measure? Yeah, does not doing anything lead to ignorance, or doing something leads to ignorance? Which way is it? Yeah, is ignorance bliss or mess? So like that, different shades and different aspects related to ignorance is one main question that has come up. Then ego and ignorance. We keep hearing ego also in the same breath as ignorance many a times when it comes to realization of the truth. So, are they related? If so, how? And then, should I use them or discard them? So, like that, broadly about ignorance and ego and ignorance, two main threads of questions have come up. Then, of course, is there a list? Is there a guidebook of what is sinful, what is virtuous? And we also keep hearing about sattva guna, raise to sattva guna, be sattvic. So is sattva guna the way to get rid of ignorance? These are the various questions that have been framed. Now let us begin our contemplation. Shilpaji, would you like to open up about ignorance? I know you have to leave sooner. That's why.
Yeah, I have to now. Yeah, maybe for 5 more minutes I'm available, Ji.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, um, at least in simple terms, what I understand from ignorance is not knowing the way what it is, not knowing the way how it is. That is how my understanding of ignorance. Can we please go to the shloka?
Yes.
The living entities are deluded because so if we do not know um, I mean the second sentence I am talking about, if we do not know the way how it is, for example, um, we are let's say in our day to day activities, studies and all, right? So we know the concept and we need to express it or do some experimentation based on that. If we do not know the reaction of a chemical, for example, right? So then it will bring a disaster in the things what you do. um, uh, that is how I'm trying to relate, Vijayji, for the second sentence. Um, and for the first sentence, it is still heavy question, but uh, we know that God is like the higher self, is present everywhere. Um, but the actual deeds are uh, done by uh, lower self or us, who do not realize the actual consciousness. Um, and it is because of the gunas we tend to do those things. Um, that is how I try to relate that um, God is not the one who indulges himself in making these sinful or virtuous activities by anyone.
So coming back, the question framed is what is ignorance? So, what is ignorance in your viewpoint?
Uh, Ignorance, in my viewpoint, is not knowing the things the way they are.
Okay, about something not knowing.
Huh.
Okay,
Not knowing, not from my perspective, knowing from the way they are. Um,
okay, okay. So the thing may be in some way,
yeah.
even when I have a incomplete understanding of that, that is also ignorance, is what you are saying.
Yes. Yes.
Not knowing itself is ignorance,
Yeah.
and knowing are bere benda satya ಅಥವಾ are bere benda ಜ್ಞಾನ
Huh.
is also ignorance, is what you are saying.
Yes. That is even more dangerous, I feel. Yes.
Okay, half-baked knowledge is even more dangerous. That is ignorance according to you.
Yes.
Okay, very
Yes.
nice. And what is your, you can continue to explore those questions. Is ignorance affected by gunas?
Um, Actually, if okay, yeah, I mean the question is, because on one side the first portion of the shloka talks about God doesn't indulge
Ah,
in
yeah.
these sinful virtuous activities, right? So which means it is affected definitely by gunas, uh, is what I presume, Vijayji.
So to go back to what you were saying, that incomplete knowledge. Let's say I have an incomplete knowledge about, say, for example, cooking. So you are saying that it is amplified by the nature of the gunas, are the gunas that are predominant tendencies in me. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, in the same example of cooking,
Hmm.
probably I'm very lazy to know the things, the ingredients to cook, the flavors to add, or I might be not even interested because of my inherent nature that cooking is a tedious activity, because of probably I might have been carried away by somebody, by someone, that okay, that is what is not making me to explore and know that area more. So just trying to add my point of view to your
If my
cooking
predominant
example.
nature
Yeah.
is laziness,
Yeah.
ignorance is amplified by my laziness because I'm unwilling to explore. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
that makes perfect sense. But what if, I have a more rajasic tendency? If I am more, action oriented, the so-called ego driven, then will I or will I not explore? Will
Uh,
that not remove ignorance?
it's a very good question. So I, I actually I'm not relating to sattvic, rajasic, tamasic gunas, because in some way or the other, this will definitely lead to ignorance as long as we do not have that seeking uh, uh, um, tendency or the curiosity to know. If that is not there to explore, then whatever gunas you hold, it leads to ignorance, is my thought process.
Hmm. Yeah. So now you gave a perfect connection between tamo, that is that, let's say, laziness, and how it continues or perpetuates the ignorance. If I'm lazy, I will never, either I don't even know, I don't, because I'm not even exploring, I'm lazy, or even if I know incompletely because I'm not exploring, right?
Yeah.
So that's once again due to my ignorance, my laziness. So my ignorance seems to be amplified by my laziness. That connection seems to be clear. The question is, if I'm egocentric, if I'm rajasic, if I'm activity oriented, if I'm activity oriented, I have to crack this exam. I have to know more than you. That is what competition in the classroom environment. No, I have to know more than you. I have to be better than you at solving problems. And I'm faster than you. That is what our most of the tests are about, right? So in that sense, is my ignorance going away if I'm activity oriented? Seemingly, right? I'm getting good marks, I'm getting good grades, and people tend to honor me. That is what is happening, no?
But the approach to that problem is a difference. So when we say ego, um, it is always I should know first, I should get first, I should top in my class, is different from what I have learned, whether I have learned to an extent what it is, and that automatically helps me to get first. Though I am not targeting to get first, I get first. So in the second example, there is no ego. I feel in the first example you are target oriented, but in the second example you are trying to become aware about the problem, know the actual things, what is happening in the area where you are exploring. That itself lights up a path to nullify the ignorance. So there is a difference, I feel, from the ego and the ego example, and versus, I mean, the approach. Basically the approach matters to get rid of ignorance, is my point of
Is
view.
your point of view. Okay, all right. So, Rajasic alone may not necessarily help to remove. Rajasic also, in a way, will having Rajasic tendencies increase ignorance or decrease ignorance? You gave an example that egocentric approach alone is not the right approach. So then that non-egocentric, from where does it non, that is also kind of a character, no? That's also kind of a guna. Uh, is that what you would like to term as sattvic? So then are you saying that a sattvic approach is what can remove ignorance?
Actually, I do not even link it to this guna means less ignorance. This associating with guna, this guna means more ignorance. For me, all gunas are one and the same. Only the approach decides how much you are going to towards awareness. Is my point of view, Vijayji. Though
Okay.
it is related to gunas, but it is not that this kind of guna means more ignorance, this kind of guna leads to less ignorance. I'm not measuring, I'm not even associating that way.
Hmm. So what you are essentially saying is the guidance has to be towards removing uh, the ignorance or not knowing. As long as the focus is on that, and that naturally takes care, is what you are saying.
Yes, yes, Vijayji.
Okay. And why would you say that no need to classify the characters as tamo, rajo, sattva? Is it useful or not useful?
uh, okay, maybe it it will definitely have an impact. Okay, I think I'm contradicting my own statement. Gunas will have an impact on the ignorance. um, Maybe I'm thinking now whether one guna, uh, no, I think I'm still sticking to my first statement.
Hmm.
Gunas, whatever gunas you have, be it sattvic or tamasic, for example, I'm very much lazy to do because I'm tamasic by nature,
Hmm.
is leading to ignorance.
Hmm.
And when I'm rajasic, because you associated an example of ego, again, that also leads to ignorance, because the way how I'm trying to address the problem and or get the awareness uh, uh, is not fulfilling the purpose. For example, today I'm given one chapter to answer, let's say 10 questions.
Hmm.
If I prepare only for those 10 questions and go, maybe I may get good marks there. But
Hmm.
there are 11, the 11th to 20th questions where my, let's say I get set B instead of set A, which
Hmm.
contains all set of different questions. But
Hmm.
because I targeted that, it's still I'm going into ignorance, because I didn't explore that the way how what that chapter is about.
Hmm.
So in Rajasic Guna also, I mean, there is a relation between gunas and ignorance,
Hmm.
but measurement, I'm still not able to figure out. I don't think that there needs to be a measure, is what my point of view, Vijayji.
When you say that, can you clarify? When you say no need to measure, are you saying, okay, how much is it, is ignorance contributed by tamasic? Or in other words, is a person tamasic or rajasic? No need to measure or classify. But there is a relationship between the guna and the ignorance. Is that what you are saying? Can you clarify, please?
I think your question is bringing me more clarity. Um, okay. Um, so on one side, I'm saying it has an gunas have an impact on ignorance. On the other side, I'm saying we can't measure it. Uh, mm, I don't know. I'm not able to answer to that question, Vijayji. I understand your point.
Yeah. It is like, okay, I say that, sweetness in chai is by sugar, but how much sugar I should put? If I don't develop a sense of it, when somebody says, can you make it just mildly sweet? How will I make it mildly sweet? What is mildly sweet? It's a measure, right? That mildly sweet is a measure. If I do not understand how to create mildly sweet chai, then I will never be able to create that mildly sweet taste. Does that example connect with you?
Mm.
So the
Yeah. So
example
on
I'm
one side
giving,
we are, on the other side we are. I'm saying. I mean, you are saying that it can be measured. Um, I mean,
yeah.
I'm able to connect to that example, but how it is related, I'm still trying to think.
So now let us take an example, just as an example. So let's say somebody is very lazy. How do you see the laziness manifest? uh, some kind of a uh, no interest towards anything, wanting to maybe only indulge in certain types of activities which are generally either sleep or simply sitting and watching mobile, or eating a lot, because eating a lot also leads to sleep. So generally these are the kinds of things we group under very lazy kind of activities, right? Tamasic. It's a word for that. Now, if let's say you have to work with such a person in your own project, you may have had such experiences where someone is unwilling to change. Let's say new technology is introduced. Someone says, no, nothing doing, I'll just stick to the old technology. Or a new methodology is introduced. Someone comes and is very resistant. New methodology, why? The old one is working anyway. But you show, look at the new method. It reduces time, it reduces effort, it improves the quality. No, 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 no. I want to stick to the old only. Um, like that, you will hear statements. Now that statement may come out of ignorance due to laziness, right? Who wants to learn? This is another 3 weeks of training, and now if I agree to this method, they will force me along with my project work to also sign up for this new course. I have already so much. Why I should sign up for this also? That may be the root cause of that answer, right? Oh, this will not work. In a way, we can say it's laziness. So now, if I do not know how to modify that, or is it like, as an example, uh, when you're dealing with any individual in terms of negotiation, there is one Chanakya mantra that you can use, right? Sama, dana, danda, beda. In negotiation, first is to look for a common win-win. Sama. For whatever reason, someone is adamant that, no, 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 I have to get more. Like how Sri Krishna said, why don't we split 50-50? No, 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 nothing doing, Duryodhana said. Then Dana, okay, you take majority. Give at least five cities, no, no, nothing doing. Give at least five villages, no, no, nothing doing. So now Dana also is not working, right? Then bring the fear of consequence, Danda. Look, this is going to lead to a huge war, and you know how powerful Pandavas are. Or, in the corporate environment, look, if you don't do this, it may lead to underperformance rating, and eventually may lead to reduction in salary or removal from job. So it's a danda niti, right? Sama is, I understand. Dana is, I'm willing to do half-hearted. Danda is, I have to, as a manager, I have to take a stick. Bheda is so lazy that unwilling to change the attitude. So I have to separate. I have to remove. Eventually, Kurukshetra had to happen. Duryodhana had to be removed. So now, in this example, Ji, do you see a connection to the gunas? And do you see the need to know how gunas affect the ignorance and what may be the proportion of that? And based on that, modify the Vyavahara Niti?
Yeah, I'm seeing a relationship. Maybe I need to turn off my mic in a few minutes, JJ. I'm sorry. I'm really seeing the comparison where you are bringing,
Yeah.
and the I think the level of ignorance, maybe instead of saying the measurement of gunas toward ignorance, I clearly see that the level of ignorance also uh, ca- can be measured.
Mm. All right. So I know you are in the middle of something, so you please continue. Let's listen to
Yeah.
uh, Padma Amma and then also Rajita ji. So we can then summarize. ಪದ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳೇನು ಈ ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ?
ಇಗ್ನೊರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ. ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಆ ಆ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಗ್ಲಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಇರಬೇಕು, ಈ ಗುಣಗಳು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ತಾಮಸಿಕ ಗುಣ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಆಗ ಆ ವಿಷಯನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆವಾಗ ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಗುಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಗುಣ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಗಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗೋಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್, ನಾನು ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥಪರವಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನನಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಗಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಧೀನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಒಂದು ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸುವಿಕೆವರೆಗೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಗಳಿಸಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜರ್ನಿ, ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಆಗ ಏನು ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಗುಣ ಇರುವಾಗ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಏನಿದ್ರು ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಸೀಮಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನು ಸಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾಯ್ತು, ಆದರೆ ಈ ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಗಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ಇದು ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಅರ್ಥ ಆದಾಗ ಅವನು ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ ಗುಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೀರಿದಂತಹದ್ದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಆಗ ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ ಗುಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಜಸಿಕ ಗುಣವು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾತ್ವಿಕ ಗುಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆಗ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಗುರುಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಗುರುಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರೋದು. ಆಗ ಆತ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೋಗೋದು. ಹೊರ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲೇ ಆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ವಗುಣನೇ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇವಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ. ಆ ಸೈನ್ಸನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಬೋಧಕರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಆದರೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹವರು ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸತ್ವಗುಣ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಬರೋದು ಆಗ್ಲೇನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಇದು ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನನೇ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕಿಡಿ ಬೆಳಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಂತು ಅವಾಗ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಏನೋ.
ಈಗ ಶಿಲ್ಪಾ ಅಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತಾಗಿದ್ದು ತಾವು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಅವರ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಗ್ನೋರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗುಣಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಬದಲಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಏನೋ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ, ಗುಣಕ್ಕೂ ಅಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅವರು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಈಗ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಗುಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅದು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ನಾವು ಈ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಏನೋ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗದು. ಈ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಮೆಷರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮಾಣನ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯನಾ? ಇಗ್ನೋರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ್ದು ಅಳತೆ, ಗುಣದ್ದು ಅಳತೆ, ಈ ಎರಡದು ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾ ಬೇಡವಾ?
ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಗುಣದ ಒಂದು ಅಳತೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಯಾವ ಗುಣ ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಲಂಬಿತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ.
ಹೌದು.
ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ?
ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ಗೇನೋ ಒಂಚೂರು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನ. ಅದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ ಪರಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು, ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು, ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ತು. ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವೋ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ
ಅಜ್ಞಾನ
ಒಂದು
ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ
ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು.
ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮಾತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ. ಈಗ
ಹ್ಮ್
ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪನವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾದಂಬರಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಅದು ನನ್ನ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವರ ಬಹಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅವ್ರ ಬರಹಗಾರರು, ನೀವು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬರಹ ಓದಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರ ಕಾದಂಬರಿಗಳು ಓದಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಆವಾಗ ಯಾರೋ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಬಂದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ ಕಾದಂಬರಿಗಳು? ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀನಿ, ಓ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬರೆದಿರೋದು 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ, ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ,
ಹ್ಮ್
ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈಗ ನಂದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಳತೆ ಇದೆ, 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಅಳತೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ?
ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದು ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನ. ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ,
ಹ್ಮ್
ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್ ಈಗ ನಾನು
ಅದು
ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾದಂಬರಿ ವಿಷಯ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನನಗೆ 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಓದಬೇಕು, 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಓದಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈಗ ನನ್ನ
ಅವಾಗ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು.
ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು?
ಅವರು ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದಾರೋ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಆ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನವೇನೆ. ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ.
ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಜ್ಞಾನ.
ಇವಾಗ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೂ ಓದಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದೂ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓದಕ್ಕೆ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಮುಂಚೆ 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ, ನಾನು 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಂದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಂತೋಯ್ತಾ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ?
ಅ- ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇದೆ, ವಿಷಯ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಾಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತೋ ಅದು ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದೇ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದರ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಳಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಇದು
ನನ್ನ
ಭಾವನೆ,
ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ.
ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ. ಇದು ಆ, ಅಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ, ಆ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣನ? ಇವಾಗ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ
ಜ್ಞಾನ.
ಅವ್ರ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅದಿದೆ ಅಂತನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಳೀತು ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡಿಡ್ದಾಗ ಕಳೀತು. ಇನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವತ್ತೋ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಓದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಆ ಓದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ ದಿವಸ ನಾನು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಜ್ಞಾನನೂ ಕಳೀತು. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ 3 ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಳೀತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಗೊತ್ತೇ
ಹ್ಮ್
ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಆವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ನನ್ನ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹುಳ ಬಿಟ್ಟರು, ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ. ಅವತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಅವತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಯಾರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಏನು ಬಂದು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಈ ಥರ ಇದರ್ರಿ ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್
ಅವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋಯ್ತು. ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು? ನಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ನ ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ.
ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅದೇ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾದಂಬರಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೀಮಿತ ಪರಿಧಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ.
ಪರಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು
ಅಲ್ಲ,
ಹೇಳಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
ಈ 3
ಆಗಿರೋದು.
ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಈ 3 ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ,
ಹ್ಮ್
ಯಾವ 3 ಹಂತ? ನಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬರೆಯೋರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಹಂತ. ಅವ್ರು 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ 2ನೇ ಹಂತ. ಅವ್ರ 50 ಪುಸ್ತಕನ ನಾನು ಓದಿ ಮುಗಿಸ್ದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು 3ನೇ ಹಂತ ಅಂತ ಆದರೆ, ಈ 3 ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ, ಎಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಭೈರಪ್ಪ ಅವರ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಾದಂಬರಿಗಳು ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಈ 3ನೇ ಹಂತ ದಾಟಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ನಾಶವಾಯ್ತಾ?
ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಆದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತಾಯ್ತು. ಆಗ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ
ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ ಆಗಲಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ರಜಿತಾಜಿಯವರ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ರಜಿತಾಜಿ.
ಹರಿ ಓಂ ವಿಜಯಜಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಪದ್ಮಮ್ಮ.
ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪದ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದಾ ಅಥವಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು 5.15
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಮಂಥನ ಏನೇನಾಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ what are the changes that has happened you've heard.
Okay.
You can either take specific questions and from either Shilpaji or Padmaji and share your view, or take the question on the screen and share your view.
First, let me take the question and share my viewpoint. So, ignorance, in the sense, the example that I don't know, I think Shilpaji has given that cooking example. I was able to connect to that gunas and cooking example. For example, if I am not aware, if I am ignorant of preparing some payasam or something, so what is the motivation for me to learn that, overcome that ignorance? The motivation is, it's the feeling that deep inside, like I have to serve my family, I have to prepare delicious foods so that all my kids love that payasam and they'll be happy. That is the motivation for me to overcome that ignorance. So how the gunas in me, does it help me to reach my goal, or the gunas gunas doesn't help me? So using that case, this is the case study. So I want to cook food. So why I want to do that? So if I question that, deep inside I want to make my family feel happy, and so in that process I feel happy inside, because I think that it is my dharma to make my family happy. So the goal, that the clarity of my goal, the clarity that I have towards my goal will drive the gunas. So it may, for example, I may be lazy to go and get the ingredients required for the payasam from the grocery stores. So what drives is that the deep feeling and the right action that I am supposed to do, the clarity of the right action that I am supposed to do, which is my dharma. So when I'm clear about that, when I have a clarity, I can have the clarity through by educating myself about the importance, like importance of the family bonding. So through all that knowledge also, my belief system may increase, that this preparing this payasam with love gives happiness and peace. I feel deep inside peaceful, and it is my right dharma. So that feeling will drive my gunas. So from the laziness attitude, I get up early in the morning, go to grocery stores, get all the ingredients required for it. So that is action. That is rajoguna, from tamoguna to rajoguna. And then I watch some YouTube channels to how to make it more delicious. I take the advice from my grandmother or my mother or mother-in-law to prepare the payasam. So that is how I take the advice from in rajoguna. I'll prepare the payasam, and in this process I will move myself from rajoguna to sattva guna. That is even that is the jiva choice only. Whether I can be in rajoguna and boost my ego, telling that I have made this payasam. See, I went to the stores. It is 2 kilometers away. I went by walk. I. So that ego, I can be locked inside that rajoguna, telling that I have prepared, I referred to this book, I referred to this channel. And so it prevents me from going from rajoguna to sattvaguna. So what happens in this process? I may not feel peace and calm and loving. I may not reach my final goal if I am in rajoguna. So from rajoguna, if I shift myself to sattvaguna, so in sattvaguna, I get more opportunities. Most of the people, my friends, and they give me suggestion. If I request them, if I with kindness, if I ask them the tips how to make the payasam very delicious, then if I'm very humble, they teach me. Otherwise, they won't teach me. Teach any friends or relatives, anyone for that matter. So that sattva guna helps me to focus on my goal and remain peaceful and calm. Deep inside, I'm not disturbed by the ego. And the Guruji says that we have to overcome all the three gunas. So when I overcome all the three gunas, then I realize that I am not the doer of this payasam. The intelligence inside me is guiding me, so that the action is not done by me. So I realize that when I overcome all the three gunas, and I realize that this is not done by me. It is happening. So I am not the doer. That non-doership attitude, when it comes, I feel more peaceful, more joyful, and I don't feel cooking is a suffering. So deep inside, I feel very happy, and that is a dharma. So, so according to me, the jiva has to reach a state of doership, from laziness, from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattvaguna and gunatita. Then that bliss, then the jiva will overcome that ignorance of all the things, and he will experience the bliss. So that ignorance part, I think I have answered. So, and is ignorance affected by gunas? Everything I think I have covered. Then ego and ignorance, even that I have explained. If I have that, I am the doer in rajoguna, then my ignorance will be, the others will not tell the tips to make the payasam more delicious. So I have to be humble. So the ego will definitely affect my ignorance. So I have to purify my ego. So how do I purify the ego? Become humble, remain in sattva guna, and then with love, kindness, with humbleness, if I ask, the universe will respond to me in various other ways. I may come across some YouTube channel, some YouTube video, which helps me to overcome that ignorance. So in that way, I'll get rid of the ignorance. And is there a list of sinful versus virtuous deeds? Yes, there are so many deeds, but after doing any deed, are you deeply inside peaceful, or are you feeling that joy and calmness? Then it is a virtuous deed. Otherwise, it is a sinful deed. If you're not comfortable deep inside, then it is a sinful deed. And the last question is sattva guna gateway to get rid of the ignorance? Yes, it helps. Sattva guna helps to get rid of the ignorance, like my payasam example. Because I was in sattva guna, I was able to open to the. I had a open mindedness, and I was receiving the answers from various sources to reach my goal. And deep inside, I was happy. So because I performed the right action needed for that moment. So yeah, I think I have covered everything. So I think now you can uh, brief about the thing, Vijayji. Thank you.
Yeah, so I would like to take a little longer time and kind of build up. So therefore, we can take it up in the next session. However,
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions to prompt you, Rajitaji, based on what you said.
Uh-huh.
One is you said sin or virtuous, sinful or virtuous. Do I feel comfortable within me? Yes or no? So, as an example, if let's say my family is uh, just as an example, I'm saying my family is
Okay.
into meat eating. I may feel very comfortable eating meat. It may not appear as sinful. It may appear as quite natural. Let me take another example. If my family trade is selling alcohol, I may not see it as at all sinful. So likewise, I'm just giving you very stark examples. Like
Okay.
the definition of a sin can vary based on the context, based on the person, based on sensitivity, right? Uh,
Yes. Yes.
so therefore, I feel comfortable, yeah, because it doesn't feel odd at all. As a
Yes.
tiger, as a tiger,
Correct.
killing a deer is not sinful at all,
Yes, it is its dharma.
right? So, therefore, how do I know that it's sinful or not? Is one important question.
Uh-huh.
The other question is related to sattva guna. So, sattva guna means what? A very peaceful and a nature of, let's say, humility,
Friendly nature. Yes.
right? Okay, so one may be very sattvic. As an example, in the life of you have heard Sri Papaji. Um, he was very sattvic, and that is why he was able to play with the Sri Krishna.
Mm.
But that sattvic nature alone did not necessarily remove his ignorance of the self.
Yes.
His sattvic nature bound him to Sri Krishna. Um, so now these are two contrasting examples. Yeah, one is about what is truly sinful and virtuous, and is this sattva guna truly able to get rid of ignorance? Okay, so these are the other two questions. just in the interest of everybody's time, Rajita ji, we can take up these two questions from you. You can elaborate on these two in your next session, and then we can build on top of that. Is that okay, ji?
Yes, Vijayji. Yeah,
Hmm? But meanwhile,
perfect. Mm.
let us consider these additional questions. So,
Yes.
in a way, what we have seen so far today is ignorance or knowing is related to something that we generally call as jnana, knowledge. So there's what is knowledge? We need to develop some way of looking at knowledge. What is then this gunas, the qualities, and how do they affect knowledge is another thing. Then you also brought up action. So there is action, there is guna, there is knowledge, then there is also ego. So four main aspects have emerged in today's discussion, and we are able to see that they are all related, and it is just a matter of now putting them together. It's like the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle seem to have come: qualities, action, then the ignorance, which is nothing but the knowledge, then ego. So four main aspects seem to have emerged in today's discussion through various viewpoints, and we still have a couple of unresolved questions. So let us continue this contemplation in our next session. Is this okay, Padma Amma, Shilpa ji, Rajita ji?
Yes, Vijayji.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then, with this, let us bring an end to today's contemplation. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.